Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Mercer County Football Show here on WBCB1490.com. We apologize, we had some technical difficulties last week, as you are probably unsurprised. Have you ever heard the concept of being so ugly you broke the camera? Well, me and Fish have been together all season, and the camera finally gave out last week and broke because of how ugly we were, and so we weren't able to get last week's edition up. We apologize for that, but we're happy and grateful to be back with you this week. I want to remind you this week's edition of the Mercer County Football Show is presented by the St. Francis Medical Center, your heart hospital in the city of Trenton. Partner, last week was the last week of the regular season.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was, Michael. And we're going into, let's first of all, we're going into the playoffs this weekend and consolation games and everything else. And there are some consolation games being played on Thursday. Not sure when you'll be looking at this, but Donovan Catholic's at Notre Dame. West Windsor North is at North Hunterdon. Red Bank's at Hopewell Valley. West Windsor South is at Montgomery. Robbinsville is at Ocean Township. Those games are all being played on Thursday. I'm not sure the reason. Somebody told me and I forget. But we figure we'll start off by let's just go over the final standings in the Western Jersey Football League for teams in Mercer County. And we'll start with the Liberty Division, and we'll go with Cinnaminson was the Liberty Division champ at 4-0. Actually, I cannot say that because they're 4-0. They have a game left to play. They're 4-0 and 6-2. Willingboro is 4-1, 6-3. Holy Cross 3-2, 6-3 overall. Delram 1-3, 3-5. The team you're worried about, Robbinsville, 1-4, 3-6. They finished tied for last with Bordentown at 1-4 and 2-6. Patriot Division, Allentown wins the title outright, 7-2 overall, 5-0 in the division. Pemberton was second, 5-3, 3-1 division. Steiner third, 3-5. All three wins were in the division. They finished 3-2. West Windsor North was 3-6, 2-3 in the division. Northern Burlington was fifth at 1-3, 1-7 overall, and Princeton was last, 0-5, 1-8. Valley Division, Nottingham and Ewing tie at 4-1. Nottingham 7-2, 6-3. I'm not even going to give these records because they're not final. The overall records. Lawrence is third at 3-2. Hamilton fourth at 2-3. West Windsor South and Hightstown both finished at 1-4. And in the Capital Division, Lenape wins at 5-0. Rancocas Valley 3-1. Burlington Township 3-1. Trenton was 2-3 and fourth. Hopewell fifth at 1-4, and Notre Dame last at 0-5. So that's how things shaped out in the Western Jersey Football League standings. Three champions basically. One overall and one shared.
Want to remind you that we will have a playoff game for you this weekend on the WBCB Sports Network on Saturday afternoon. We'll have the Nottingham game. You'll be able to watch that live on our website, WBCB1490.com. We'll preview that game and the rest of the Mercer County playoffs coming up in just a little bit here on the Mercer County Football Show. But when we come back, we'll take a look our final week of the season as far as our superlatives as well as the 12th Man Touchdown Club honorees. That's next. You're watching the Mercer County Football Show here on WBCB1490.com.
Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township.
Hello, this is Acting Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I hope you're enjoying today's game. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of our Mercer County teams the best of luck, and I would also like to urge parents to be involved in your children's activities. Urge them to participate in after-school activities, whether it's on the athletic field or in the school play or marching band. Participation in these programs is a great learning experience for your child. Parents, please stay involved. This is your Acting Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I hope you enjoy today's game.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome back to the Mercer County Football Show here on WBCB1490.com with Rich Fisher. I'm Mike Samsel. So great to have you along with us. A reminder that this week's show brought to you by the St. Francis Medical Center, your heart hospital in the city of Trenton. Taking a look at the 12th Man Touchdown Club honorees this week, the offensive back of the week from the Hun School is Patrick Holly. Their quarterback, Todd Smith, letting him throw a little bit over at the Hun School. 16 of 19, 315 yards, and 6 touchdowns in their win over Mercersburg. The offensive lineman of the week was the left tackle from Petty School, Noah DeHaan. The defensive back of the week from the Lawrenceville School was Mike McLean. 17 solo tackles and 7 assists for 24 total tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and 1 pass breakup in their win over the Hill School. The defensive lineman of the week was Lewis Hurd. From the Pennington School Special Teams Player of the Week, the lone public school honoree, Miles Mitchell-White, no real surprise there, had an 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown along with 11 carries, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns in their win over West Windsor Plainsboro South. So those are our 12th Man Touchdown Club honorees. I cannot believe that our Player of the Week honorees did not find any of these honorees or find their way into it because they both put up gaudy numbers. And Fish, I'll let you go first.
Well, one of them's already been the honoree, so I'm sure that's why he's not in, and that would be Jordan Morrison of Steiner. All Jordan did in a win over West Windsor North was rush for 344 yards, which Coach Dan Caruso believes is a school record. He tried to research it all day Sunday, and he scored 6 touchdowns, which ties the school record. So what a day by Jordan J. Mo Morrison. 344 yards, 6 touchdowns, both a record or a share of the record.
And my Player of the Week is Hezekiah Patterson for a school record 23 completions, and under Tom Hoagland, that might be a school record for passing attempts, let alone completions. But also just 5 short of the school record for yards, 354 yards in their game against Nottingham. And I'll tell you what, that was a fine playoff tune-up for both of those teams.
It sure was. That was a knockdown, drag-out ball game. They went after each other, as they always do. You just hope they both came out of that healthy. I mean, they were slugging it out, and they always do in that game. So good tune-up, but not for the aches and pains.
No, certainly not. So those are our 12th Man Touchdown Club and also our superlative winners of the week. Want to remind you again this week's episode. Team of the week. Forgot about Team of the Week.
This is an easy one. We both are taking. I will take Ewing. You will take
Nottingham
because they both won and they both tied for the division title. So how can you take one over the other?
Yeah, exactly. Nottingham, as we said, got that good, hard-fought victory. Ewing, the number 2 seed, they're going to be making their way into the playoffs. They are in Central Jersey Group 3, I believe.
Yes, sir. We'll be talking about it.
Nottingham is in Central Jersey Group 4. They are the 3 seed in that. We'll go over all the seedings. We'll go over all the matchups coming up next. Now I want to remind you that today's show is brought to you by the St. Francis Medical Center, your heart hospital here in the city of Trenton, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Jerry Blavitt here to tell you about St. Francis Medical Center, the heart hospital in the city of Trenton. St. Francis Medical Center is one of the region's top cardiac care centers, serving all of Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. Their staff of highly trained physicians provide state-of-the-art heart care to patients with cardiovascular disease and pride themselves as being the only regional heart center to offer a full spectrum of individualized services. And Consumer Report ranks St. Francis Medical Center in the top 10 hospitals in New Jersey for safety, and the number 1 hospital in Mercer County, St. Francis Medical Center, the Heart Hospital.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Mercer County Football Show here on WBCB1490.com alongside Rich Fisher. I'm Mike Stamsel, so happy to have you along with us. Again, this week's show brought to you by the St. Francis Medical Center, your heart hospital in the city of Trenton. I want to remind you, we might have a show next week, depending on how the results go in the Mercer County playoffs this week, but we expect to be back. We'll at least do a season wrap-up. So we'll definitely have at least one more show. You'll be able to watch that on our website, WBCB1490.com next week. Saturday, you'll be able to watch on WBCB1490.com Jackson Memorial, the 6th seed, take on Nottingham, the 3 seed in Central Jersey Group 4. Again, that's the game we'll have for you on the WBCB Sports Network this weekend.
Yeah, this is going to be the best 6th seed you'll ever see. Jackson's, they're only 5-4, but they've won 2 straight sectional championship games, and Nottingham's actually this group's first shot at the playoffs. They haven't been in the playoffs since 2013, and of course they won it all in 2012. The North Stars defense, which held Hamilton to negative rushing yards last year, although they did give out 300 plus passing yards, is going to be very challenged. Jackson quarterback has only thrown, Dan Barker's only thrown 47 times for 276 yards, but the Jaguars have rushed for over 1,900 yards. Mike Galwick, who if he's not the best back in the state, he sure is one of the best. He's rushed for 1,611 yards and 20 touchdowns. He holds the career record for rushing yards with well over 4,000 and touchdowns with over 40. Last year he rushed for 1,500 yards. So the mission here is pretty simple. You got to limit Galwick. I don't want to say stop him. You're not going to stop him. You got to try to limit him. For Nottingham,
well, it's simple to say. It's sure not simple to do.
Right? No, yeah. The stated mission is simple.
Right.
The carrying out of the plan is a little different. Nottingham, though, interesting last week. Hamilton's defense, as it's been all year, did a great job against Nottingham. For the most part, held them to 30 yards rushing, and that's what Nottingham likes to do, is run the ball. But Deontay West, the quarterback, the junior quarterback, may have come of age. He threw 2 touchdown passes, 83 yards and 44 yards. Big plays that proved to be the big difference. So what West did there was show Jackson, if they were scouting, if we crowd the box on this guy, he could beat us. So that was a nice little change of pace for Nottingham. But I still think they're going to come out and try to run the ball. I mean, this could be a battle of ground games. We'll see how it is, but I think this is going to be a really good game.
Again, you'll be able to watch it on our website, WBCB1490.com. That guy over there will be along with Chris Ermer, and they'll have the call on WBCB1490.com, beginning with the Trentonian pregame show at 12:45. Another game in Central Jersey Group 4. We want to circle back to Friday night when we have the 7th seed Morristown taking on the number 2 seed Allentown. Good luck, Morristown, because we were talking about one of those great players here in the state. They got to try and stop Jordan Winston.
Yeah, that's for sure. Quakers are 5-4 coming in. We should mention that the winner of this game plays the winner of the Jackson-Nottingham game. So, I mean, if everything broke right, you could have 2 teams in the semifinals, guaranteeing Mercer a team in the finals if this all broke right. Quakers come in at 5-4. They had a 3-game winning streak snapped by Triton last week, 27-20. Morristown's averaged 23 points a game, but they've had some defensive meltdowns this year. They really don't have a featured back, but they have 2 backs, Zion Howard and Brian McMonigal, who've combined for about 600 yards. Morristown does throw the ball. McMonigal, I hate this kid's name, has completed 61% of his passes for almost 780 yards and 11 touchdowns. He's got a kid named Brandon Outlaw who has 23 catches for a 20-yard average and 8 touchdowns. Allentown, they're 7-2. They're on a 6-game winning streak. They almost let Trenton back in the game. When we saw them a couple weeks ago, they took care of that last week. They led by over 50 at halftime, so they weren't going to let that happen again. Jordan Winston.
Did you just say they led by over 50 at halftime?
Yes, they did. Less said about that, the better.
Oh.
Jordan Winston, you talk about having a balanced offense as a team. Jordan Winston is a balanced offense as a player. He's rushed for 879 yards, and he's passed for 888. It's pretty good. So, and the great thing about Allentown is you can't key on them because Joey Menino and Ricky Motram can also break off big runs.
Yep.
So, I know the Redbirds have gotten to the sectional finals before. They've never gone all the way, so we'll see if this is the year, Mike.
Yeah, it could well be. We'll keep an eye on that game on Friday night. And also on Friday night, as we step down to Central Jersey Group 3, we've got the number 7 seed Carteret making their way up to Mercer County, taking on the number 2 seed Ewing Blue Devils. Damian Doggett has a ton of experience winning big playoff games. Just not on the football field. Usually on the basketball court. We'll see if he can pull it out on the football field on Friday night.
Well, and don't discount that, Mike. I mean, big game play, big game experience. That's a great point you just brought up because big game experience is big game experience, And if you're an athlete, it's they're going to look to this kid as they have all year. This is another one where we could see an all Mercer semifinal if things break right. But anyway, the Ramblers are 5-3, but they have no momentum. They started 5-0. They've lost 3 straight. Ewing 6-3, and they've won 2 straight and scored over 50 points in both of those games, although they were both against 1-win teams.
Right.
This is a game that both features multifaceted quarterbacks, multi-talented quarterbacks. Carteret's Angelo Galino has completed over 50% of his passes for 896 yards and 5 TDs. He's run for 267 yards. We talked about it, Damian Doggett. He's thrown for 1,457 yards, rushed for 738. The difference here, Galino has what Doggett doesn't. He has other running backs to help out. Quartius Bird and Antaron Chandler have combined for over 1,500 rushing yards. Ewing's next two, Mike, highest rushers, have combined for about 360.
Wow.
So Doggett may be the best player on the field. I can't say that for a fact because I haven't seen Carteret play. But he's going to need help if Ewing wants to move on.
Also Friday night in Central Jersey, Group 3, the 3-6 matchup. Lawrence will be making their way to South Plainfield.
Yeah, another Mercer versus Middlesex, and another, if Lawrence and Ewing can happen to pull off some wins here, they would meet in the semifinals. We'll see. Tigers, South Plainfield Tigers are 6-2. They played some close games this year. 4 of them have been by 10 points or less. South Plainfield's won 3 of them, so they have experience in close games. They have a solid runner in Zach Del Vecchio. He's rushed for 627 yards and 7 touchdowns. Another guy, Charles Lovett, has 347 and 5 TDs, so that's a nice little 1-2 punch there. Lovett and Ryan Marson have both thrown the ball for South Plainfield, so I guess I don't know if they alternate or how they work that. Lawrence is 7-2, and as we've seen all year, they can come with you with a lot of different people. Miles Mitchell White, I can't believe it's the first time he won 12-man club, actually, with some of the games he's had. But Devon Hemingway and Miles Mitchell White can both run and catch the ball. They've combined for over 1,200 rushing yards, 350 pass receiving yards, and a total of 21 touchdowns. Zaire Smith, he can run with the ball. He's gained over 500 yards. So Carteret has a few different weapons from Lawrence that they're going to have to look out for.
Well, I'll tell you what. Samai Mitchell, big brother, went to a Central Jersey championship game. I'm sure Miles Mitchell White wants to follow in Big Brother's footsteps.
No doubt, my friend. That's for sure.
The last game that we're going to preview for you is for some reason in South Jersey instead of Central Jersey, despite these two schools being in the same township, Nottingham and Hamilton. But whatever. In South Jersey Group 3, on Friday night, the 5-seed Hamilton travels to Lakewood to take on the number 4-seed Lakewood. Has anyone provided a good explanation why Hamilton is in South instead of Central Jersey?
These groups have just been changing everywhere. I mean, you got Hopewell and West Windsor North and South and Princeton all in North Jersey now. I mean, it just goes by populations and what sports need what teams to fill out the brackets. So geography doesn't really have as much to do with it anymore. It's it's like when the Big East was going to have University of San Diego in it a few years ago. I mean, it just doesn't matter, So, but yeah, Hamilton at Lakewood. The Piners hit a little rough spot. They won 4 in a row to start the season, lost 2 straight. Now they have a good 2-game winning streak. They have a quarterback, Zaire Jones. He's another one of these Damian Doggett kind of guys. He's thrown for 760 yards and 10 TDs. He's run for 355 and 6 TDs. Hamilton's 5-3. They're coming off that heartbreaking loss to Nottingham. They had a 4-game winning streak snapped, and they could have won that game. They had 5 turnovers, 95 yards and penalties, and as we mentioned, Ezekiel Patterson had an outstanding day. Their running backs did nothing against Nottingham. Reggie DeMonts, as he's been all year, is going to be a player to watch on both sides of the ball. Christian Charles is a receiver to watch, and Nottingham's got a stable of running back, or Hamilton's got a stable of running backs. So once again, Hamilton's front 7 on defense is going to be interesting to watch because they have been really, really consistent and good this year. One thing to note, Mike, here, people, when these playoffs start, you look at records and PowerPoints and everything. You can't discount competition. All these teams are playing teams from other areas of the state. You got some Mercer Middlesex, some Mercer Shore Conference. So you really, really don't know what to expect. I mean, numbers mean a little bit. I mean, they can show you tendencies and things like that. But when it gets down to coming down the field and being physical, I mean, those Shore Conference teams are physical. They like to beat teams up. In the past, some of these teams have played with these Shore Conference teams.
Sure.
But it's just going to come down to you really got to raise your level of play and get ready to duke it out. And one last thing, some consolation games on Saturday. Hightstown's at Colts Neck, Pinelands at Steiner, Washington Township at Trenton, and Monroe at Princeton.
Want to remind you can watch Saturday's Jackson Memorial and Nottingham game on our website, WBCB1490.com. That will begin with the Trentonian pregame show at 12:45. That game will be exclusively video streamed on our website, WBCB1490.com. Can't hear it on the Brown, can't hear it on the AM. You can watch it on WBCB1490.com. You can watch it on your mobile device, so if you're still out and about, you can go ahead, plug in, and you'll still be able to at least hear the game because you'll be able to watch it on your mobile device as well. Thanks to the St. Francis Medical Center, your heart hospital here in the city of Trenton, as always, for sponsoring the Mercer County Football Show. Rich and I will be back next week, and until then, good luck to all the Mercer County playoff teams, and we'll see you next time.